Greetings, villains, vigilantes, heroes, and heroines.
You're tuned in to Project SuperVillain. We're your hosts. I'm ArcDrifter.
I'm Kill Boss.
And it's that time of the month again. We're jumping back into another top 5 of the month. It's July. And this time, we've got some cool games to show you guys. It's not going to be a dry month like a couple of the other months this year.
Number 5, Monster Hunter Stories 2. So, Monster Hunter Stories 2, this is definitely a different sort of vibe from your typical Monster Hunter game. This one will be coming out on July 9th for the PC and Switch. And speaking of a different vibe, it is definitely got like a Pokemon style going on to it. You'll notice that right away with all the pre-release material, and if you've played the previous one, it's apparently similar.
Yeah, very cutesy anime style, very much a separate game from the original Monster Hunter. You can tell just from looking at it, but that being said, you still got all of your monsters that you're familiar with, and a lot of things carry over, including Monster Hunter Rise, which was released earlier this year on the Switch, but exclusively on that, so you won't be able to do the cross-compatibility on PC, sadly, but maybe that'll come later if they decide to release the Monster Hunter Rise on PC.
So in typical Monster Hunter fashion, you will be creating a character and you'll be able to customize their appearance and their armor throughout the story. Something that they are adding that's a little bit new, though, is the ability to ride monsters, and with that will come your riding actions, which is basically dependent on what kind of mount that you have, but you will be able to do different actions whether you're riding a ground-based, aqua-based, or air-based monster, and I think that'll add a lot of neat dynamic additions to the game, and I'm hoping it looks like it plays into the combat as well.
It does, and it also looks like it's going to be something you use to uncover secrets and stuff around the map. It's actually got a turn-based style about it for its combat, and it's an RPG, so it's going to have lots of different elements of upgrading there too.
There's also going to be a 4-player versus mode. It's like a battle mode, and that is going to have a bunch of other different modes within it, different game types and such and such. There will also be a co-op, and that will contain exclusive quests that you can only access through the multiplayer.
But that's really all the info we've got for Monster Hunter. We're not huge Monster Hunter people, and this specific version of it isn't the version we would play personally. We like the more gritty style where you get to kill the monsters and eat them and turn them into armor and stuff. But in this game, monsters are friends, not food. Remember that.
It's happy.
Remember, happy game. Happy times. Anyway, let's move on to the next one.
Number 4, Chernobylite.
So we've got this game coming out July 28th. A couple of the other ones you'll notice are around the same date. But anyways, this was coming out on the PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X. And this game is actually kind of a blend of different game styles. It seems to be mainly like an FPS horror survival game, but it also features stealth. There's base building, crafting mechanics in this game, and it appears to have some sort of possible extra dimensional threat. This is not just roaming around like the heavy radiation infested area. This is going to have something more to it, I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure, but it definitely does look like it.
Yeah, so definitely there's probably going to be some spooky shit going on, judging by some of the stuff we've already seen about the game. It also looks like the combat is very unforgiving and very brutal, and that's an okay thing by me. I like a good challenge. I don't like to just be able to breeze through FPS games, so I very much welcome a challenge in that area. Also, RPG mechanics, so that's something that we have been seeing more and more combined with FPS games these days, and I am all for that because RPG mechanics just allow you that extra bit of freedom to build a character that plays the way that you want them to. So yeah, I am looking forward to seeing how that plays out in this kind of game.
So you'll be acquiring skill points and stuff from some of the people that you can have tag along with you, and that'll change the way your character will play. And also, this game seems to feature some branching story paths, and it seems to have a plot point system based on actions, like some sort of karma system. So essentially, you could be in one mission, depending on the decision you make or what you do in the mission, who you kill and whatnot, it might affect something that happens later on in the game. And I always think that's a really cool effect if they nail it the right way. And yeah, this game definitely has some Stalker and Metro vibes to it. It's very gritty and very tactical looking even. I'm liking the looks of this, so we might take a look at this.
This is some awesome, this is real Russian sci-fi. This is good. I like it.
Even in the trailer, you see a dude doing a Slav squat, and it's awesome.
I know, right? It's like that's a proper squat right there.
Take notes, gentlemen. Number 3, Neo: The World Ends With You. Coming out July 27th. Just like some of the other games, again, right at the end of the month. Got this game coming out on the Switch and the PS4, and it appears to be coming out on PC later in the year. Don't have an official date for that one, but it's very different from its predecessor. I'm not a fan of the game, like I haven't played it, but I am definitely interested in it now because we took a look at the gameplay of this and the trailers and stuff, and it was like, oh, okay, that's really cool. It's reminding me a lot of Persona 5 in certain ways, but it definitely has a different style to it altogether. Like apparently it's got a very big focus on like music and stuff in this game. A lot of cool music, by the way. The EDM and like some of the metal we were hearing was pretty nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's like, think of like if you took Jet Set Radio Future's soundtrack and you gave it cocaine.
It's also reminding me of Persona, where you're gonna have like dungeon areas, and then in like Shibuya in Japan, you're gonna be doing like quests and puzzles, talking with other people, and apparently you can read people's thoughts too on the streets and stuff, and it does appear to be an accurate portrayal of Shibuya from what I understand too, so that's pretty cool.
They tried their best to get some of the landmarks in there and, you know, make it as to scale as possible.
I want to add though, it does have fixed camera angles for these parts,
yes.
So you don't get to like explore quite like you'd hope, but the way they've made it work, the way that you walk around in the city and the way that the camera moves around and is very like active and fluid, I do think it is a very cool decision that they made. It might be good. I'm gonna have to wait and see how it plays before I make that decision.
Right. So when you actually get down to getting into battle in this game, you'll actually be controlling pretty much all of the characters simultaneously. Each one of them will correspond to like a button on the controller, and you can string their attacks together and make combos, and that can actually get you, you know, a meter built up that gives you more powerful attacks. It looks super stylish and awesome, and you can even change every character's attacks with these equipable pins that you have, and each one of them will have different effects, you know, whether it's ranged or melee or some sort of AoE. It all looks very awesome, very stylish, and that goes right along with its super eclectic and amazing soundtrack. Like, we've already told you about that, but goddamn does it ever suit the game. It is so good.
Honestly, yeah, this game is very fast-paced, I gotta say. Like, we were watching some of the trailers and we couldn't even figure out what was going on. It was like watching League of Legends tournament for the first time.
Yeah.
But then when we started to actually take it in a bit, we was like, oh, okay, I kind of understand what's happening now. And it's just very fast-paced and very fluid, and it looks like a lot of fun. So definitely take a look at this game if you're into like that JRPG style. And then the artwork also looks amazing, I want to say, too. Just a quick add-on at the end there. But
not just the in-game graphics, but the actual 2D art that they've drawn for the game looks, like, amazing.
I like it. Let's move on to the next one.
Number 2, Eldest Souls.
So, Eldest Souls will be coming out at the end of the month, again, July 29th. That's coming to PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series S, and X. So, just judging by the title alone, you can kind of tell that it's a Souls-like, but this one plays from an isometric view, so still third person, but more akin to Diablo in the way that it looks. And that also plays in with the pixel art, too. The pixel art in this game is fabulous. It really reminds me of the gritty style that Diablo 2 used to have, but just, like, moved down to an 8-bit version instead of, like, a 16-bit. But it looks fabulous. I love the atmosphere that they have been able to create with just a solid art style.
Very beautiful pixel graphics. This game features a lot of easy deaths, as you'd imagine, so you're going to die very easily. The bosses are going to kill you in 2 to 3 hits, apparently, and I don't know how quickly you're going to die to the vermin and stuff like that, the lesser enemies, but we'll see. I have a feeling it's going to be pretty unforgiving, just like the bosses, and in these boss fights, I think you're going to see some multiple stage fights. If you beat the guy, don't think you beat him, because he's going to get back up and he's going to be stronger and kick your ass.
Yep.
That's typical to these kind of games.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And then when you beat these bosses, apparently you claim some of their power and level up that way, so that's pretty cool as well. A lot of other games do stuff like that, but it'll be interesting to see what kind of powers these bosses have and that you'll get to harness.
So this is a faster-paced hack-and-slash style game. Again, we all know Souls is known for its hack-and-slash combat, but there it's a little bit slower. This one, you definitely notice there has been a speed increase. It is simple to control, but you know, it's still very fluid and still full of enough options to make sure that you don't get bored. One of them, for example, is the only way to really regain health in the heat of battle is the Bloodthirst ability, which basically you have to fill up by attacking, and then you activate, and when you hit the enemies, you gain gain health back. But again, you also have to be careful because they can strike you back and do like basically half your health bar in a single hit, so you do need precise timing to use a lot of the skills in this game.
Speaking of skills, this game features skill trees, so you are going to have some RPG-like mechanics there, and you're going to be able to change some of the abilities that you have and choose between different ones and maybe change your stats up. It appears there's 3 different kinds of trees, I believe. There's an offensive one, a ranged one, and a defensive one. So you're going to have a couple of options there for your style of play, which is always good.
And it appears the reason that they kept it as simple as it is without delving too much into the customization and mechanics of it is just making sure that the player still feels like they have enough agency in their own skills to be able to beat some of the challenges, and that it's not all just being done by all the tricks you've unlocked and stuff like that. So I think that that's a good way to develop a hardcore combat game. So definitely looking forward to this. If that's your thing, make sure you pick this one up.
Let's move on to the next one.
Oh, we've got an honorable mention. Doki Doki Literature Club Plus.
Okay, guys, this game, we're cheating with this one a little bit. It is technically coming out in June the 30th, so actually this game will be out by the time this video launches. Yeah, this game, we're kind of breaking the rules a little bit, but I had to because I just played the first version of it myself, and it's very, very intriguing. It is a psychological horror experience like none other. I will say it's also coming out on PC, Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Series S, and X. It was only out on PC before, and that's like why they're renewing it now. They're launching on all these consoles, and they've added a bunch of new stuff to it.
When it comes to additional content, this new package is going to include some updated full HD visuals. There's going to be 6 new side stories, and 13 new music tracks are coming along with that as well, and there is also 100 plus unlockable art images. I'm assuming that's something people have been clamoring for.
Yeah, I can't imagine like people would be too upset about getting some cute pictures of anime girls, but you know, like, it's just extra stuff to unlock. I don't think anybody's going to complain about that. If you're not familiar with this game, again, I'll just quickly explain. It is a point-and-click kind of visual story game. It's kind of like a dating sim for the first few minutes, and then it gets, well, not first few minutes, for the first, like, half of the game almost, it's building characters and learning about the story, and, like, there's small little things that hint it's a psychological horror game, and then at a certain point, it's just, this is a horror game.
But the twist!
Yeah, it's weird. So don't be fooled by its cutesy tone. It is very, very disturbing, and you know, it's not for the faint of heart, that kind of stuff. And you know, look forward to this game because we're gonna try it out. I'm gonna make this guy watch me play it.
Play it if you want nightmares.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get drunk.
Number 1, The Ascent.
So we got The Ascent. This was definitely one of the coolest looking games that was showing off. Yeah, exactly that. That's The Ascent right
Going
there.
up.
That's exactly... He's not lying. That's what you do in the game.
We ascended this list, and now we're at number 1.
We're at number 1. So yeah, this was definitely one of the coolest games that we saw this year at the Microsoft presentation. The Ascent is coming out on July 29th, and that will be coming out for the PC, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, and it looks like it is exclusive to the Microsoft platforms.
Yeah, you're gonna see that on day 1 Game Pass, so I'm excited to try that out later in the month. Because I have that, and you know, it's been a very nice service so far. I definitely recommend it if you don't have it already. Not a sponsor.
Get Game Pass.
Yeah, definitely. Anyways, the main gist of this game is actually it's another isometric game, so we like our isometrics this time around. And it's kind of got this Diablo crossed with a twin stick shooter kind of vibe going on with it, which is, you know, really cool. Kind of like Judge Dredd meets Diablo is the universe there. Awesome cyberpunk
awesome.
setting, which, you know, like, we were looking for some good cyberpunk stuff ever since last year's what? Sorry, I blacked out. Anyway, yeah, so cyberpunk, we like that stuff. It's
It's
we've
good.
been craving it.
It's good, yeah. We've been craving it a lot. I need a fix.
Anyway, 4-player online co-op. That's 8. That's 4. 4-player online co-op. It's gonna be awesome. We're
And
gonna play
local.
it. It's, yeah, local.
And
That's a
local.
big highlight for me, guys. They don't do that anymore, I feel like. Like, why? Local games, we have the biggest screens nowadays, and everybody's got like freaking 70-inch plus screens, I feel like, and nobody's using the freaking co-op to the advantage. We were all huddled over these tiny CRT TVs playing Mario Kart, but now we have the giant TVs and we're not using them. It's like, wait, we could each have our own fucking 27-inch.
So this game does have a lot of RPG elements to it. There will be customization of your character and their appearance. There will be lots of armor and weapons that you can equip to your character, and of course a lot of those will also add to the appearance and the stats of your character. And not to mention, we will also have some upgrades and skills. We haven't really been shown anything too in-depth on what that might be yet, just a few snippets here and there of the sort of things you can unlock, so hopefully we'll see a little bit more before the release date, but it is coming out very soon, in about a month.
Yeah, so definitely if you are interested in this game, either check it out for yourself, get Game Pass or whatever, or just watch us play it at the end of the month on July 29th. When that releases, I don't know if we'll be playing it day one or not, but we'll see.
I'm gonna play it like pretty soon after it comes out.
Yeah, it's definitely on the list, guys, so look forward to that. But again, if you want to see those streams, it's twitch.tv/ProjectSuperVillain, and we do streams every Friday and Saturday, usually around 9 p.m. Eastern Time, so we appreciate any new faces.
So yeah, that's 5. That's our top 5 for July. These are all awesome-looking games. Definitely plan on getting my hands on a few of these. Make sure you check them out too if you liked what you saw here.
Or you could just, tune into our stream, twitch.tv/ProjectSuperVillain. We'll probably be playing a couple of these later on in the year. So, definitely a few of them, like Eldest Souls is definitely on the list there. Maybe we'll try that Neo game, Chernobylite. Anyways, just tune in. We appreciate it. But that being said, if you guys want to support us even further, you can also check out the other links that we have down there. You can check out some of the other videos that we upload. We do other videos like top 10s, gaming reviews. If you like nerdy shit like that, you'll like this channel, and we appreciate any support. But that's going to be it for today's show.
Alright guys, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching.
Project dismissed.
Beach out.